Oligarch Yevgeny Prigozhin is recruiting mercenaries for the Wagner Private Military Company. In other words, he is recruiting prisoners into an illegal, according to Russian law, structure, for which he has no legal right, only carte blanche from the Kremlin. His fighters execute people unlawfully. Ramzan Kadyrov, who is only the head of Chechnya, interferes in foreign policy. The hierarchical structure of power in Russia is bursting at the seams.
Consequently, the traditional power structures begin to lose out on this background, and precisely as the alternative reality strengthens, because in fact Mr. Prigozhin is not limited by anything, therefore it seems to him that he has no boundaries. Well, like Kadyrov has a little more. There are certain limits, though, that is, when he gets into, for example, international relations, he's pulled back, but inside the country, Kadyrov does not have any boundaries either.
This would be unimaginable if state institutions, courts, police, special services, ministries and so on worked according to the rule of the law. Systemic violations by the Kremlin of the Constitution of the Russian Federation and international law, all this points to the corrosion of power. Such countries are commonly called as failed states.
Well, of course, further we can give many more examples. It just seemed to me that in order to become a failed state, it is enough to meet one condition. For example, the absence of borders. Then, of course, everything else has to be proven. The absence of borders is not even necessary to prove. It is directly fixed in their laws that they have no borders. As Putin's spokesperson Peskov said, for example, about the Zaporizhia region, the residents themselves will decide where the border is. Well, you see. So then, where is the state?
In addition to the loss of the state's monopoly on violence, the absence of the rule of law and democracy, a classic sign of a failed state in the inability to have real allies. There are situational or dependent partners, such as, for example, Belarus or Syria.
Now Russia is such a large Gaza Strip. It has turned into the Gaza Strip from which missiles come periodically. And on the territory of Russia, I think, there will also be no state in the near future. There will be some power structures, different ones, of course scattered across the territory of Russia, but there will not be a single state.
Real power in the Russian Federation is gradually falling into the hands of the criminal and terrorist groups of Kadyrov and Wagner Private Military Company. Putin ambitiously intended to turn Russia into an alternative geopolitical center. Now he risks losing control completely. According to analysts, the stage of destabilization in the Russian Federation has already begun. Disintegration and the removal of Putin from power are ahead. Reported by Sergey Kulas, Vasyl Panasiuk, UATV News.